good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is my boxing review. Show. Obviously, there was no UK fights last night. They were all over in America and all over early in the morning. So this is my boxing review show. Everyone's having a good weekend so far, and a good Sunday. And yeah, let's get straight into it. And there's only one place to start, and that is Jesse Ramirez stopping Juan Estrada inside 7 rounds in which was Jesse Ramirez's masterclass to win the WBC super flyweight belt. And we all touted this fight as a elite legend in Estrada versus a future pound for pound number 1 in Jesse Ramirez. And Jesse Ramirez has now cemented his place in the top 5 of the pound for pound rankings after this performance on an elite fighter in Estrada as well. Complete masterclass for me. Complete masterclass. I don't know what the scorecards were watching, because the scorecards were absolutely wild in my opinion. It was a competitive fight, don't get me wrong, competitive fight, but Estrada's inactiveness shown in the fight for me, did show in the fight. Jesse Ramirez was just out-sharpening Estrada all the way through. Estrada probably came back into the fight about midway, when of course he did knock down Jesse Ramirez. When he did knock him down, that's when Estrada came back into the fight. But Ramirez completely dominated the first half of the fight. And it's like when Estrada knocked Ramirez down, it was like that was a massive mistake by Estrada, and he paid for it the round after, which was obviously the knockout, which was the KO win from Ramirez with a brutal sickening body shot to Estrada. It was so brutal, a brutal body shot to Estrada, and Jesse Ramirez once again should get the credit he deserves now. 24 years old. Jesse Ramirez is only 24 years old, and he's achieved a lot already in boxing. He's achieved a lot already. World champion at flyweight, world champion at super flyweight as well. He's unified as well in both divisions. He has unified in both divisions as well. Well, he's unified certainly in the flyweight division. Obviously, then Sonny Edwards, of course, which we will talk about during this boxing review. But for me, it was a complete masterclass. It was basically another Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford 2.0. It really was, where Estrada inactiveness did show, and Jesse Ramirez's activeness did show against Estrada. Because for me, Ramirez absolutely just outsharp Estrada throughout the whole fight. So we were probably all shocked by it was a stoppage, because I had Ramirez to win on points. I did have Bam to win, but I thought he'd only win on points. But to stop an elite fighter like Estrada is an absolutely incredible win for Ramirez. Albeit an inactive Estrada. Estrada does have a rematch clause. I don't think the rematch should be next for me, because I do think in the rematch it will be stopped earlier, in my opinion. I actually think Bam would stop Estrada then in the rematch. And I just think Estrada's now met his match in terms of Bam Ramirez. I'm not saying Estrada should retire. I think Estrada may have a couple more fights in him, but I don't really want to see the rematch. I really don't, because it was all a one-way massacre in Bam Ramirez's favour. So Teofimo Lopez has called out Tasuto Iorca or Fernando Martinez in the unification net. So they're the two choices next for Lopez. Either Estrada triggers the rematch clause, or Teofimo Lopez just moves on from him and tells Estrada to step aside, while Teofimo Lopez doors on to try and unify in a super flyweight division against the winner of Iorca or Fernando Martinez in the unification. So, an absolute masterclass from Teofimo Lopez. An absolute masterclass performance. For me, the standout performance of the weekend, you have to say. Because I think we were all shocked by the way Bam did win, which was stopping Estrada and KO and knocking out Estrada. Because everyone probably had it. Everyone would have had Bam Rodriguez to win. But only on points. For me, I had him to win on points, Bam Rodriguez. I did not expect him to KO Estrada, and he did. So, standout performance of the weekend, and probably the standout performance of the year from Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion. So, we shall move on now to the top ranked main event, which was Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez defeating Steve Cadder by unanimous decision to retain the WBO Super Lightweight title. For me, it was easy. It was easy as expected for Teofimo Lopez, but again, he is getting criticised for not stopping or knocking out Cadder. Has Teofimo Lopez lost it now? Has Teofimo Lopez lost that KO now in him? Because Teofimo Lopez, for me, yes, to be honest, he won every round. He won every round of the fight. He was boxing. He was boxing and moving on the back foot on Cadder. Fair play to Steve Cadder, though. Fair play to Steve Cadder, who kept on coming forward. But it wasn't even close, was it? The fight wasn't even close. Teofimo Lopez won every round for me. But again, it's one of them, Teofimo Lopez. Again, it's not the way we want Teofimo Lopez to win. It's not the way we want him to win. Against these type of opponents, we want Teofimo Lopez to obviously stop them and KO them, really. I don't mind predicting right. I said it would be a Teofimo Lopez win by unanimous decision, because Teofimo Lopez against these opponents, he does underwhelm, doesn't he? He does underwhelm against these opponents, but he still manages to win. And it was just another win for Teofimo Lopez on his record, let's be real. Steve Cadder is no good at all, let's be real. And where does Teofimo Lopez do next? Apparently, he is on a move to welterweight now, according to Bob Allen, to fight Brian Norman Jr., who will be upgraded to a champion in the welterweight division, with Terence Crawford fighting obviously Mardo in the super welterweight division. So Terence Crawford will have to vacate the belt. But I don't know how that's going to work, because Brian Norman Jr. is going to have a mandatory in Dazzleoff as well. So I don't know how that's going to work. But that's Bob Allen. For you. Bob Allen will just throw Teofimo Lopez straight in to a title shot. And that's what's wrong with boxing these days. That's what's wrong with boxing. How can you move up to a weight division and fight for a title straight away? It's just craziness. It really is. But it's all about the name. That's what it is. It's all about the name. And but personally, I would love to see Teofimo Lopez in the unification nets at super lightweight against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. That's the fight I would like to see. Nets in the unification, and it would be a real test for Teofimo Lopez. And to be fair to Teofimo Lopez, he turns up for the big fights. When it's a massive name, in the opposite corner, he turns up. Teofimo Lopez. He's just a weird man, isn't he? He's just weird with Teofimo Lopez. It really is. But it does look like it will be probably Norman Jr. In a fight to become a freeweight champion for Teofimo. But personally, I would love to see Teofimo against Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz next. Big up to AFC always. I hope you're well. Hope you're well, mate. First time seeing you on the channel. In the comments. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Teofimo Lopez performance. Up next, Sonny Edwards, who was the tour main event on the Estrada versus Bam card. Sonny Edwards back in action on the back of that defeat to Jesse Ramirez back in December, defeating Adrian Toriel by technical decision. Obviously, the fight got stopped due to a cut above Sonny Edwards' eye, which was a deep cut. But Sonny Edwards obviously went to a technical decision, and Sonny Edwards won on everyone's scorecards. Despite the accidental cut above his eye. And for me, a very good win for Sonny Edwards, and not the way he wanted to win, but there's nothing we can do about the cut above his eye. Nothing you can do about that. And Sonny Edwards, for me, yeah, you have to say I was quite impressed. To be fair, I was quite impressed with his performance because I thought Adrian Toriel would have started quite the more quicker fighter early on. Because Toriel, he is a fast starter, but Sonny Edwards straight away from the first round onwards, I think he dominated. Toriel, in my opinion. Sonny Edwards, he does box on the back foot, doesn't he? Box on the back foot and uses movement and skip movement. And yeah, a well-deserved win for Sonny Edwards. It was a dominant win. Obviously, not the way he wanted to win by technical decision. But a very good win because I thought this was a tough fight to come back into for Sonny Edwards. But that's Sonny Edwards for you. He just wants the big fights. And I do think flyweight and super flyweight divisions are very underrated in boxing. No one really takes notice of them, which is a real shame. So, but the fight to make next is Sonny Edwards against Dahao Defy, which is a really massive fight, massive UK fight, UK versus UK, British fight in the flyweight division. It is a massive fight in that division between them two. With Eddie Hearn, obviously Eddie Hearn is obviously promoter for both sides, Edwards and Defy. So that fight should be made in November because Sonny Edwards, he's going to need a couple of months to recover from that cut above his eye. That's going to take a couple of months to heal. So we'll probably see that fight between Sonny Edwards and Dahao Defy in the UK, probably in November, which is a big, massive UK flyweight fight between Sonny Edwards and Dahao Defy, in my opinion. So up next, then we saw the return of Roberto Ramirez, obviously on the back of that defeat to Rafael Espinoza, with a knockout of the year. With a brutal uppercut knockout to uppercut Benitez in the 7th round, with a brutal uppercut knockout on Benitez in the 7th round, and then I would say a good performance from Ramirez, a good performance to get his confidence back, and to hopefully have that rematch with Rafael Espinoza to try and get his featherweight belt back off Espinoza, and try and hopefully set up that dream featherweight unification fight with Diaz Alberto Lopez in the featherweight division. And but it's what I expected from Ramirez. I did expect him to stop Benitez in the 8 rounds, and that was the case. I was just 1 round off. I predicted an 8th round stoppage for Ramirez, and he ended up stopping him in the 7th round. And it's a very, I would say, a good performance from Ramirez. And I think he'll want that Espinosa rematch now, go straight in to try and get revenge on Rafael Espinosa in that bid rematch, in my opinion. So 2 more fights to review. Up next, we saw Mardo retain her WBC, female WBC Super Bantamweight title to defeat Ramirez on a wide punch decision. I don't know what matchroom were watching, to be honest with you, when matchroom was saying, yeah, 96-94 was the right scorecard. Not for me. I said in my preview about Ari, she doesn't do enough. She's not busy enough, and she doesn't do enough. Mardo, for me, Mardo was more of the aggressor, did more of the volume punching as well. And Ramirez, I'm sorry, people, but I don't know where the daughter's from. She ain't good. She is not good at all. I can't believe she's fighting for a title. Maybe that's a bit harsh on the females. That is a bit harsh on the females, but it's what I expected. I expected Mardo to win on points, and I expected her to win comfortably on points as well, and that's what happened. Yes, call a spade a spade. I know that's my favourite saying now. But with my eyes, Mardo won it by a wide points decision because Ramirez, she's not good enough. She's not good enough for World Devil. It's harsh criticism. I know it's harsh criticism, but yeah, to put her in the category of A Stotney, come on, let's be real. And but that's going to be the options next for Mardo. But Mardo may have to wait for A Stotney because A Stotney, who is the unified champion in this division at the moment, who's got most of the belts, A Stotney will need to deal with a mandatory first. So we may only see the Mardo unification fight before the end of the year. So it's going to be probably November, December time, in my opinion. Seeing A Stotney in the unification with Mardo. There's there's Erica Cruz, who has the other belt. That could be the fight next for Mardo. Unification fight next with Erica Cruz. But Erica Cruz has got a lot to deal with at the moment in terms of her failed drugs tests. So, and there's the Ramirez rematch. And that's what Matchroom, unfortunately, that's what Matchroom are going to do. They're going to try and force that rematch to happen when it shouldn't be a rematch, in my opinion. I thought Mardo won it quite comfortably, in my opinion, on a points decision. But Eddie Hearn and Matchroom just seem to have all this hype. About Ramirez, saying she's really good, so let's put in a rematch. Which is the one decision for me. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to be the same result again. Unless it's in the UK, and the UK try and pay the UK off to try and give RE a fucking title. So that's my thoughts on that. And finally, the final fight, we saw Antonio Cardenas edge Danny Barrios on a majority decision in the battle of the unbeatens at Super Bantamweight. Very good fight. It was a very good fight. Cardenas did win the fight for me. I would say by a couple rounds, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. I don't really store fights, to be honest with you. I just use my eyes. To store the fight. And for me, I think Cardenas won it by 2 or 3 rounds, in my opinion. Danny Barrios needs to take some criticism for winning the round. Was it the final round? He was running around trying to avoid it. Cardenas won the round a pretty win when I was watching it. I was watching it, and I was thinking to myself, what's Barrios doing? What is Danny Barrios doing? Running around the win in the final round. When, in my eyes, Tadenas was 2 rounds up by then, and Barrios needed a fucking knockout. I was thinking to myself, why is he pretty running around? So I think Danny Barrios needs to take a lot of criticism, in my opinion, for running around in the final round, because that ultimately probably tossed him the win. Because you don't win fights by running around the win. Let's be real now. Let's be real. So for me, Tadenas won the fight for me by 2 rounds. I would even say 3 rounds in my opinion. But a dud little fight. It was a dud little fight. A dud pickling fight between the two of them. But for me, Tadenas won the fight for me. Let's be real. So, and yeah, and that's pretty much. I've reviewed all the fights there. I've reviewed all the fights. Thumbs up from Chesterfield, Florida. Oh, bid up, mate. And thanks for the subscribe, by the way. I did see you did sub. It popped up. Do you think Teofimo was down his studs? I think he's lost. I think he's lost his punch resistance, hasn't he? I think he used to knock out people, didn't he? He used to knock out people, and don't get me wrong, he put in a masterclass performance against Chostea. But we expect Teofimo Lopez to knock out opponents, not beat opponents on points. So I do think he is a bit damaged. I do think he is slightly damaged studs. But I'm not one of these people who expects a knockout. I just want to see a good boxing performance. I mean, knockouts are obviously the bread and butter of boxing. Of course they are. That would be the ideal scenario to win. But for me, I do like watching boxers as well when they box themselves to a points win. It wasn't a dull opponent for Lopez, let's be real. It was not a dull opponent at all. It was an easy win for him. It was an easy win. Another stat pad win for Lopez. And I think Lopez has been sensible by saying, going down the Prime Norman Jr. route to try and become a freeweight champion. But for me, all of us boxing fans want to see Teofimo against Isaac Cruz or in a unification fight. Even against Devin Haney, but Devin Haney's waiting for the Ryan Garcia fight in the rematch, which is an absolute joke, by the way. I'm ashamed of Devin Haney for that. But obviously Devin Haney will want revenge for what Ryan Garcia did. But Isaac Cruz, for me, is the fight. I think that has to be the fight next for Teofimo. Unification, a dud, tough opponent for Teofimo as well. Isaac Cruz, we all know the way Isaac Cruz fights as well. But I think Teofimo's can go down the Prime Norman Jr. route, and yeah, I think Teofimo for me, he is slightly damaged. He is slightly damaged for me. Which is just mental, isn't it? It's just mental because he's got the wins over Lomachenko, Chostea. It's just, I just don't know what's happened to Teofimo Lopez. I just don't know what's happened to him. And even though we should be giving him praise for the performance he put in, then Steve Cadder, but we expected that. We expected that performance. But it's just a weird one. I mean, Teofimo's is a weird boxer, isn't he? He's just a weird boxer and fighter. If it's a big name opponent, he turns up. He turns up and picks up the win. If it's an underwhelming opponent, underwhelming opponent, he has a shithouse win. He has a shithouse win on points, or he has a defeat to George Tabotos Jr., who for me is not a good fighter. Who's not a good fighter, not a good boxer. so overhyped, George Tabossos Jr. So that, see, we've got two sides of Teofimo Lopez we have. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it for my bottom review. He had a final comment before I do. I know it's a short review. He had his hands a little too low for me. Yeah, that's another thing with Teofimo. He just has his hands a little bit too low, and against a proper punter, against a powerful punter, he'll be in trouble. He'll be in trouble, Teofimo Lopez. He'll be in trouble. And yesterday, if Tan Davis moves up, if Tan Davis moves up to super lightweight, for me, he KOs Lopez. He KOs Lopez for me. And Tan Davis has got everything. He's got everything. He's got power. He's got the skills as well. And Teofimo Lopez has been one of these fighters who's been calling out the big names as well. So that's what I think would happen. If Lopez came up against, let's say, a powerful punter, he'll get stopped. Simple as that. Because his hands are too low. And I think Tan Davis will fancy his chances when he moves up to super lightweight as well. So, but anyways, I am going to leave it there for my bottom review. Massive appreciation to everyone that tuned in. Massive appreciation to FC Always, and massive appreciation to Rude Exporter. Thank you for the subscribe, mate. We do appreciate it. And I will be back tomorrow with a bottom preview for the Magnificent 7 card. Well, at the moment, it's only 5 fights on the card, with the Ian Davis versus Masood fight getting obviously postponed. So Masood's looking for a new opponent. I'm gutted about that, because Ian Davis one of my favourite fighters over here in the UK. We am gutted that he had to pull out. But I'll still be doing a preview for that. But previewing the 5 fights that I already made on that card, predicting the fights that I made on that card, and obviously I'll leave my predictions and comments for the other 2 fights that do get made on that card as well. So if you watch this on playback, feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Take care, stay safe, and so yeah, have a good rest of the day, everyone, and take care, and see you all later.